Now we will see, we have seen the zero coupon bond. Now we will see the government and corporate bonds. Zero coupon bond in case of a government, it is treasury bill, but it can be zero coupon bond can be any corporate bond also. So any bond which is having no coupon is known as zero coupon bond. Only two cash flows, beginning and end, we have discussed now. Now we'll see the government and corporate bonds, how they are being different from each other, what are the names and all. Treasury securities, for government treasury securities, you have three: treasury bills, treasury bonds, treasury notes. Treasury bills is for 1 year or less, treasury notes are for 1 to 10 years, treasury bonds are more than 10 years. So federal government debts is normally referred as treasury securities, normally T-bills, pure discount bonds, and deep discount bonds for less than 1 year or 1 year. T-notes, as I said you, up to 10 years. T-bonds, more than 10 years. Municipal securities, again government bonds, but municipalities, not exactly purely supported by government, it is issued by the municipalities. For example, the municipal bond issued by the Municipality of Washington, Municipality of Washington DC, the London Metropolitan bonds, these are all municipal securities. Varying degree of default risk rated similar to corporate debts. Interest received is completely tax free here because it is municipal bond, so interest it is for some development of the municipality, the area, so it is normally tax exempted, tax free. Now we have to see if it is a municipal bond. Normally municipal bonds are also known as munis. So it is very popularly known as munis. So munis are normally tax free. So we have to calculate if you are comparing one corporate bond, taxable bond with the munis, you have to find the after tax return of the corporate bond or before tax rate of the municipal bond, because municipal bond whatever is giving is tax free. So if you are considering a corporate bond, you have to adjust the tax, then calculate the after tax bond of the corporate bond. You have to compare with the munis. Like example given here, a taxable bond of 8% and a munis of 6%, which is better? If you are in the 30% tax bracket, which is better? You see, the munis will give you 6% without tax free. Means you are getting 6% means you will not pay any tax. It is tax free. But the 8% corporate bond, you will get 8%, you will pay 30% of that. So calculate. Either you calculate the after tax rate of the corporate bond, 8% multiplied by 1 minus 30 tax rate is equal to 5.6%. Compare with the munis. So which is better? Definitely munis better. Why? Munis is giving 6%. You are getting 8% from the corporate bond. After paying tax, you are remaining with 5.6. Definitely the munis is better, giving 6. For example, you are getting 10% corporate bond. Or you can do the other way around. Whatever you are getting from munis, you divide by 1 minus tax. Compare with the corporate before tax bond. 6% divided by 1 minus tax is equal to 8.57. Compare with the 8% corporate bond. Either of the way you can do it. Either corporate bond after tax return you get it, compare with the munis. Or munis before tax rate you calculate by dividing 1 minus tax, compare with the corporate. At what tax rate would you be indifferent between the two bonds? 8% multiplied by 1 minus tax is equal to 6%. Then both of the bonds will be indifferent. Why? The corporate bond 8% 1 minus tax the same as 6%. Then T will be 25%. If you are at 25% tax bracket, for you municipal bond and the corporate bond here will be the same. Why? 8% you will pay 1 minus 25% is equal to 6%. Munis is giving 6%. So you are indifferent. Now I think it is clear to all of you. Municipal bond, let us go to the corporate bonds. You know, corporate bonds are issued by the corporations or companies. These are having greater default risk relative to the government bonds. Why? Because government bonds are backed by the government's assurance. but corporate bonds are having risk of default. The promised yield to maturity may be higher than the expected return due to this added default risk. We have seen in one of the slide, if you remember, the YTM of similar risk remains the same. If the risk increases, then the YTM increases. If the risk is high, your YTM demand for the yield to maturity demand will be higher because the default risk. So for this, bonds rating is very essential. Normally, uh, Standard and Poor, Fitch, so many rating agencies, Moody, Fitch, and Standard and Poor. These are the very famous rating agencies who rate the bonds. If the bond quality is very high graded or highly secured, then it is known as high grade bond. Moody's AAA, Standard and Poor's AAA are rated as high grade or investment quality bonds because the default risk is low there. So they are high grade bonds, good quality bonds. Moody's AA, S&P's AA, they are very strong but less than the high grade bonds or the less than the AAA grade bond. Still little risk is there. But both are traded as AAA and AA are traded as high grade or investment quality bonds. Based on the investment quality, you will have medium grade bonds. What is medium grade bond? Moody's A and S&P's A, similar, they are medium grade. Means risk is moderate, not very high quality, not very bad quality. It is in the medium quality. Moody's BAA, S&P's BBB are considered as medium grade bonds. And anything less than that is a low quality bond. So high grade, high investment grade, medium investment grade. Rated with AAA and AA, A and BBB. After that, anything comes are known as speculative bonds or junk bonds or low grade bonds. They are very low graded like Moody's BA or B and S&P's BB and B. Considered as speculative in nature and they are involving with high or the default risk might be high. And next will be very low grade bond, that is Moody's CAA, CA and C, and S&P's triple C, double C, C and D. They are very low grade bonds and highly speculative in nature. So they are known as pure junk bonds. Bond markets primarily over the counter transactions happen with dealers connected electronically and it is not very active like stock. Bonds are normally, it's that vibrant market you won't get and extremely large number of bond issues but generally low daily volume in single issues. As I said, stocks are very high volumes are being traded but low daily volume are there for bonds, so it's not very vibrant in trading. Makes getting up to date prices difficult, particularly on a small company or municipal issues. Treasury securities are on exception. They are very vibrant and trading is done frequently. The quotations are done on the basis of, for example, May 15, 2026, that's the maturity date, 1.750, 97.1953 is the bid ask, 97.2109, bid and ask is the spread, 0.3438 is the yield, 2.113. What does it mean by coupon rate on the bond? When does the bond mature? What is the bond bid price? What does this mean? What is the ask price? What does this mean? How much did the price change from the previous day? What is the yield based on the stock price? These are the answers this quotation gives you. Then clean price, dirty price. Clean price, before going to the clean price, Let me stop here.